Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Yesterday, the 4th of April 2025, I decided to not spend any more money this month on groceries. So I thought today I would do a little bit of prep to, see how we can stretch out the groceries I bought yesterday until the end of the month. So the first thing I thought that I would tackle is the kale. You'll see I'll put a picture there and you'll see the bunch of kale that I bought. I have decaled the stems, but I'm not going to throw these away. I don't want to just throw food. Apparently, they're quite woody, but we'll do something with them later on in the month. But what I have done is prepared my kale and taken it off the stalks, and I've washed them thoroughly. And now I'm going to prep them 3 ways. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some kale chips. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of put some aside to make, things like stir fry stuff. And the next thing that I'm going to do is something that I've seen on Rainbow Plant Life, and I will leave the link in the description below. It's something that Nisha does. She's marvelous, really like her work. And to prepare the kales to make it something to be prepped for eating salads throughout the week. So I'm going to do all of those things. So thank you very much for joining me. My name is Mundy. This is Mundy's Kitchen. We'll keep going, all right? I'll show you some things, what I'm up to, all right? The first thing that I need to do for all of this kale, and it's really only a single bunch, actually there's quite a lot, is I need to now dry it all off. So I've got my little salad spinner here, and it's going to take a few goes, but I'm going to try and get as much water off the leaves as possible. That actually took 5 lots of spins in my salad spinner, and now that the water has, gone, there's actually quite a lot of kale here, so this is going to be great. So what I'm going to do is in this bowl, which I will now dry off, I'm going to do the prep for what Nisha does for the salads. So I'm going to take about 1/3 of it, oops, spilling it everywhere, and put it in this bowl just to kind of keep it aside. All right, and what she does is she takes some little bits of kale and rolls it up small and chops it up into very fine little pieces, because let's face it, kale is quite hard to digest like this, in its raw form. So I'm going to carry on and chop the rest of it, and I'll save you the boring bits. All right, back soon. So now that I've chopped up 1/3 of the kale into this little bowl, what you do next is you squeeze in some lemon juice. Now, this is probably not the juiciest lemon, but anyway, we'll give it a go. It's what I've got, and I'm not spending any more money. So there's that. That's a bit better. Then I'm going to put in about a teaspoon of salt, maybe a little bit more, and just a drizzle of olive oil. And then comes the fun part. You massage it in, which actually feels quite nice. So we'll do this a little bit, and it's kind of already dressing the leaves, if you like, but also making them less chewy and less woody and far more manageable. So I will carry on and do that. Well, that smells and tastes delicious. I've now put it in a little container that's going to go in the fridge, and it's also really nice on your hands. just saying. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the kale to be made into kale chips. This is the second third of the prepared, washed and dried kale. I'm just going to put a couple of teaspoons of olive oil on them and very little salt, about half a teaspoon of salt. And again, massaging it through so that all the leaves are coated in the olive oil. Doesn't take very long at all, actually. Like I said, it feels delicious. All right, now I'm going to put it on this tray, and you don't have to be too fussy about laying it all, you know, just in one layer. This will do. Like so. Now I'm going to put it into an oven which is quite cool, so probably about 170 degrees. I'm not sure exactly, maybe 320 Fahrenheit. I will put that in the description below, okay? Humblest apologies, not very good at the conversions. But anyway, for about half an hour, and then I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. Right, I've chopped those kale stems into, you know, little pieces, and now I'm just going to put them into a plastic bag, and they'll be good for stir fries or soups. Actually, now that the weather is getting a bit cooler here in Melbourne, I can see some soups happening in the not too distant future. But anyway, just to make sure that they stay relatively fresh, I've got a piece of paper towel that I'm going to put in there, and I might not seal it completely, but that'll be that bit done. And then of course the rest of the kale that we haven't actually prepared, other than washed and dried, I'm putting it into a plastic bag with a piece of paper towel, and that will just go in the fridge for some stir fries later on this week or month or however long it lasts for. Still waiting for the kale chips to be done. Back shortly. So, still waiting on the kale chips. Nearly done, but not quite. But in the meantime, I thought I'd make some lunch. So, I have got basically a rainbow salad here. That's the kale that we massaged earlier with the salt and lemon juice. That's a bit of the red capsicum or bell pepper that we did yesterday, and the rest of the carrot. I still have some chickpeas that I've made in my Instant Pot. I also have a recipe, and I've made it a few months ago. I'll leave the link in the description below, to make some chili crunch, and I've made that again today. So that's on there. I also have been sprouting some mung beans, and if you like, I'll show you how to do that, but there's plenty of instructions on YouTube. And then I also have a little bit of pickled ginger that there's a jar that I need to use up. So it's been sitting in the cupboard for who knows how long, but why not? So this is my rainbow salad lunch today. There we go. And I'll be back when the chips are done. Bye. Mission accomplished. Straight out of the oven, hot, 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 but really crunchy and delicious. I have to wait till they dry completely before putting them into an airtight container. But that's basically what the heck to do with some kale. So, hope you found that useful. I'm going to continue to enjoy my delicious, nutritious, and very lovely looking salad. And I'll see you next time. Lunch was lovely, but one last thing, actually two. I've actually created a couple of books that you might be interested in. If any of these recipes that I've done on this particular video or other ones are something that you thought might be worth keeping, ta-da! Recipes Worth Keeping is a book that I've created. It's basically blank, but you can fill in the pages as you feel led. So I'll leave a link in the description below. The other thing that I'm very interested in is that we do need to have 30 plants a week. Kind of a broad guideline for a good gut microbiome. So it's another book that I've created, and I need to fill it out myself. All right, so there's an opportunity for you to list all the things that you've eaten in the course of a week. So from Monday, I think I'll start. Maybe you'd like to join me. Anyway, that's all I need to say. I'm really going to go now, so catch you later. Bye.